All right, it's been a couple of days since I've been out here, since I glued these up. And we're fixing to get these clamps off and get the pins cut off flush with the handles. All right, that's gonna take two hands. Yeah, yesterday my wife and I spent, not all day, but the largest portion of the day in town stocking up. And man, I'm telling you, you just cannot watch the news and not come away with the feeling that we are in for some serious changes. Maybe temporary, but I believe whoever is going to get elected, it doesn't matter. There's going to be some serious changes. Have you looked at Joe Biden's tax plan? The most important one that will affect every single working person in our country is the 52% income tax. 52%. Over half of your check is going to be taxed. Go to taxes. That's Joe Biden's, and he's not making any bones about it. This is a published fact. So, really, I can't see any working American voting for Joe Biden, knowing that their income taxes are going to be more than doubled. More than doubled. That's just mind-blowing that people would still even consider voting for that man. Anyway, this is a knife making channel. Let me get back to knife making. But, off YouTube, I'm not doing the videos that I did years ago, prepping videos, basically because my interests are knife making. My whole life is now centered around making knives. And, but I still, believe me, I still am ready and prepped and I go to bed thinking preparedness, and I wake up thinking preparedness. And the reason I don't do prepping videos anymore is because, quite honestly, I've done everything that I can think of to be a prepared person. Except I've got a new truck, and I'm going to be building a new underseat box, secured storage in the back, underneath the back seat. I'll have a get-home bag in there. I'll have some other party favors and cupcakes, and I'll do a video on that. I just won't show you the contents on this channel. I have a BitChute channel that, when the time comes, I will show you the contents on that channel, and I'll give you a link. I also have a second channel here on YouTube, but I don't ever upload anything to it. And I think I had 200 or 300 subscribers. It's been so long since I've been there. It's is it BC Knives or BC Blades YouTube channel? I can't remember. Anyway, but let me get these cleaned up and have a look at them, make sure I don't have any gaps around the spine. So we'll do that next. Okay, I got the basic cleanup and shaping done. Now, I put them on my router, and I get these corners started on the router, and then I shape this up by hand. And what the router does, basically, it eliminates the non-uniformity that can happen when I knock these corners off by hand on the belt grinder. It's nearly impossible to get them exact on both sides. And what the router does is give me an exact radius on both sides of the knife handle and on the underside of the knife handle. And then from there, I hand sand, and you can't mess up, a perfectly even, mechanically even radius. You can't mess it up by hand. I mean, you could, but I know at this point in my knife making, how hard to sand, how far to take it by hand. So that's the next process, is to put these on the router and get my edge radiuses started. Okay, I got them started. Now what I do is put them on my 1x42 belt sander, and I just basically get the sharp edges off of here and smooth it out some more by hand like this. I take that little crease out right there, and then I'd start the hand sanding. All right, I got them sanded up somewhat on the small belt grinder, the 1x42. Now I tape the blades up. What I did was I took my acetone and cleaned up the glue line, the epoxy line on both of these. I like a nice clean epoxy line where there's no bleed over or crap squeezing out. Okay, now I tape the blades and I go over to my knife vise and I'll show you what I do over there. Okay, that's the reason I put the tape on it, to keep it safe from the jaws. And when I'm sanding, sometimes I go over the edge here. I don't want to nick the blade with the sandpaper. Now what I do is I take my Makita die grinder. You know what? I need to put a new drum on that. And let's see if I can find my tripod and put this on the tripod. I can have one of these knife vices shipped to your door for 140 bucks. Alright, now the hand sanding starts. Okay, I'm still working on number one, the knife with a walnut, but I've got the grind line sanded out of the pins and the handle, and this is the shape it's going to be. And that is the hardest part of sanding, is the very first grit, which is 180. I start with 180 on hardwoods that are not stabilized, and actually this is stabilized, but 180 still works. On stuff like desert ironwood, you got to start with 150 and sometimes 120 to get the rough shape. But walnut is not as hard as any of that, and starting with 180 is fine. So here I am. I've got a real good start on sanding, and now basically I start sanding the grind lines out of the previous grit. So now I'm going to go to 220, but not right now. I'm going to, since I'm doing two at once, I'm going to get this one sanded up to 180, and then I'm not going to show you the whole process. I go all the way up to 1,000. And then I buff it out and it's ready for a sheath. So probably by the end of today, oh, damn it. I got to fix Bev's water leak. Yeah. Well, I will get these sanded and buffed, and then I won't be able to start the sheaths till today's Friday. Probably tomorrow I'll get the sheaths made, or at least a good start on them. I may be able to ship these Monday or Tuesday. I'll know by the end of the day tomorrow. So I'll get these sanded up to 1,000, and then I'll hit them with a buffer and show you what they look like, because that's the last step until they go into the leather shop. I make the sheaths, and then I put the edges on them, and then I give them one final buff, oil them up, and ship them out. But I'll show you these when I get them all buffed up, so that'll be, midday or so. All right, we are sanded up to 1,000. Now I go put this on the buffer, and we'll see how pretty that wood is. Walnut here and zebra wood. All right, let's go to the buffer room. I'm going to do the other one. All right. Zebra wood and walnut. That's polishing compound. I got to rub that off. All right, these will look even better when I get some of this on there. This really makes a difference on the wood, and it does clean the metal up. It takes the little schmutz like that off. Okay, leather is next, but right now I got to stop and I got to go fix Bev's water leak. But first, I'm going to drink coffee and then go do that. So I'll upload this video, and you'll see the sheaths and the knives when I get to that point. And I may do a little video about fixing Bev's water leak, because it's all I do around here is fix water leaks.